In this video, I want to talk about why women don't really care about our problems. If you're the type of guy who is always complaining about why life isn't fair, that I'm going through so much, that I don't have time to achieve my goals, and that life is just hard and passing me by, then the woman who's in your life is going to walk away from you. Because the reality is, men are supposed to solve their problems. We all have trash to clean up. We all have junk in our lives that isn't pretty, but it's our responsibility to clean that up. Are we flawed? Absolutely. But we can always respond to problems because we are problem solvers. That is in our DNA as men. And if we don't attack the problems and just let it go by and continue to grow, well, it's going to expose itself in the worst possible way. You see, the difference between a masculine man and a beta men, they blame others. They don't take responsibility for their actions. When they get held accountable, they deflect and say, "Oh, I'm going through all this and woe is me and look at all these problems I got going on. I don't want to hear a word you got to say." Masculine men, when they get held accountable, they respond in a positive way. They thank the person for calling them out, for holding them accountable, for saying that, you know what, that's not something good you're doing and you should change that because it's going to make you a better man. And it's not that they're attacking them, it's that, hey, this is a blind spot and you should work on it. Whereas the beta man will be a victim, they're complaining, whine about how life isn't fair to them, how, things aren't going their way. And if they have a girlfriend or wife in their life who constantly hears this every day, the attraction is going to decrease. And you're going to run into a lot more problems because if you're married, your wife is going to hold you accountable and call you out on your trash and say, you know what, you need to step up and be a real man and hold you accountable. And you might not like that, but it's just the truth. And if you don't deal with it before you get married, well, she's gonna say some things you might not like, but it's just gonna help you. But here's the issue with that. You got this feminine energy going on. And feminine men don't stick around. They can't rise to the occasion. They crumble under pressure and they don't overcome those challenges. Why? Because they're victims. Victimhood is such a powerful thing and it's something that we can't ignore. Now, I've said before in the past that every man goes through the temptation to be victims, and sometimes they're in that state of victimhood that they have to overcome it. So I don't want to just dismiss it because it's a very powerful thing. So if you're in those situations where you are tempted, you got to turn things around. Everyone goes through problems in life. Everyone has personal things they're battling. But if you refuse to acknowledge it and just move on, it's going to show itself in an ugly way down the road. So instead of going in that direction where you don't want to take accountability, what you need to do is look in the mirror and say, you know what, this isn't good. And I need to work on this right now. Because if you go to your girlfriend or your wife and you're complaining, I guarantee you they're going to tell you to be quiet. They're going to say, you know what, figure it out. You're a man. You see, women want to be around men where they feel security and they feel safety. If you're complaining constantly, blaming the world why you're not succeeding, and bringing all this energy to your girlfriend or your wife, you're going to have an unstable household and she's not going to have a lot of attraction towards you. So don't do that because she's not going to really care at the end of the day because she's expecting you to be a man. Now, how do you overcome this victim mentality and complaining mentality? First thing is clean up your own trash. Everybody's got their own junk going on. Everybody's got flaws and things they need to work on. I'm not perfect either. I still have to work on myself every single day. I rely on my faith in God, but even after I pray and read my Bible, I still have to apply those applications in everyday life. So I'm not going to lie. When I first got married 4 years ago, I was a bit nervous about our financial future because sure, I was saving, but I still had credit card debt that I got myself into. I had a student loans that I hadn't taken care of yet. I also had a car payment. 4 years later, my car's paid off. I just paid off Sallie Mae recently. All our credit card debt is gone. I could have been like, you know what? I'm not ready to get married. And I could have blamed my wife for that situation I was in, but I didn't. I got my insurance license a year later. Been selling Medicare for the past 3 years. Hasn't been perfect. It's been a journey, but I've been pretty consistent at it. I have a YouTube page that's hit over 1,000 subscribers trying to get that monetized. I have a basketball podcast that I'm enjoying as well that's growing. But at the end of the day, I can look at my life and go, well, I'm 33 years old. I should just give up. No, I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep getting better. I'm not going to blame others or say, woe is me because I'm in this situation. I paid for school. I got to pay it back. And all that we have left is, her car loan, which will be paid off by next year. And then we have the federal loans left. And that's it. But I can look at my situation and go, well, you know what? I should just quit. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep building. I'm going to be consistent. See, that's a different mentality. And you could look at your life and go, you know what? I could just give up now and, you know, not do anything, or I can do something about it right now. If you're in your 30s, you know, life is not over. You know, don't give up on yourself. Don't be a victim. Don't complain and whine why life hasn't worked out for you. There's still plenty of time left to turn things around. Just look at me. You know, I'm 33 and I could look at this YouTube endeavor and go, you know what? I don't know if it's, you know, going to work out, but I have no idea. I have to keep pushing. Just like with insurance, I have to keep building out my experience. If you guys are struggling with it, my biggest takeaway is just clean up the mess each day. Take ownership, do the best you can, and keep showing up each day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thanks for sticking to the end. Make sure you go check out my other video where I talk about how attraction does grow in space. Love to hear your thoughts on, you know, how you've handled, you know, victimhood and how you've overcome that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.